Hi and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, hay fever again. So yeah, you'll have to bear with me if I sound a bit snuffly. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different again. It's about time to get some more fish in the big aquarium behind me. But obviously, buying new fish need to be quarantined. At the moment, I haven't got a quarantine tank set up, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. The little tank that all these came out of, haven't done anything with since it's been emptied, but there's a load of plants in there that need sorting out. Still got the old substrate in that needs taken out. So basically, if you, in my view, a quarantine tank is somewhere where you can check that the fish are healthy before you put them in with the rest of your fish. So there's a couple of things it needs. It needs to be a nice place for them to live. So somewhere where it's got hiding places for them, plants, stones, maybe a piece of wood, depending on what kind of fish, what kind of pH they want. Because wood can release tannins, which raises the pH, makes it more acidic for fish like that. The other one is make it easy to catch the fish. Obviously, if you're going to put a fish in there, they're going to be in there for a couple of weeks maybe. But what you don't want to do is put fish in a tank and then 2 weeks later you've got to start taking it apart so that you can catch the fish to put them in another tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it so that all the scaping that's in there can basically just be taken out. That's plants, stones, maybe a piece of wood, I'm not sure yet. So the scaping's in there to keep them calm and keep them happy. But when I'm trying to catch them, I can literally just put my hand and take it out, and then it's just an empty tank that makes it easy to catch the fish. The first ones that are going to go in there, I think it's going to be some panda corridors. Still working on that. I'll let you know when the tank sorted out and I go to the fish shop and get some. But yeah, first thing I'm going to do, I'll show you the tank. It's a mess. Like I say, I've done nothing with it since I got the other fish out, apart from dump a load of spare plants just dumped in the water. Nothing done at all. Like I say, I've been trying to sort the tank room out. As you can see, I've got the lights on the display cabinet. But yeah, it's an ongoing process. Like I say, everything behind there is still a mess. There's bags and boxes all over the place that I've got to sort through. So basically, I'll move things around. I'll show you the other tank, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with the plants. Because normally what I'd do is I'd empty the tank first, so you've got a nice clean base to work with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the plants first, because I need to get the plants out of the tank, pot it up, and then when it's time for the other tank to be filled, the pots can go in, the water level can come up, and there's no disturbance, anything. So yeah, I'll show you the tank first, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the plants as they come out. So yeah, that'll be the next on the list. So as you can see, it's a mess. So there's various plants in there that I'm going to be reusing. I'm going to be planting them in some little pots. I'll explain and show you how I'm going to do that in a little while. But there's two different kinds of plants in here that I'm going to use. They're both Rotala, but there's different variations. One's Rotala indica rotundifoliaria. I think that's what it's called anyway, sounds like it. That's got reddish leaves on it. I think that's right. The other one, I think, is Rotala wallachii, but I'm not sure about that either. It was a long time ago that I bought that. So they're the two that I'm going to be putting in the pots. There are other little plants in there. There's some red root floaters that are going to be going back in, but all the substrate with all the plants in it are coming out. I'm going to replant the foreground plants in the shrimp tank, just to give a bit of extra ground coverage in there. But apart from that, yeah, the tank's going to be emptied after that. So yeah, next thing I'm going to do is show you how I replant these these plants in the little pot, so I'll just move things around again and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is one of the pots that I'm going to use. The others are slightly different, but I'm going to just show you with this to show you how I'm going to do it. Obviously they're going to need a substrate in there, so what I've done, I've got some aqua soil, and very simple, just pour some in the bottom, maybe a third full, just to give the plant something to grow into. Smooth it down, and then what I did before, because I've done this before just to see if it works, just pour some water in to moisten it down, stop it from moving about too much. So that's basically it's just like you'd do in a fish tank without the gravel. Some aqua soil topped off with some sand. But obviously this is going into a fish tank, and you don't want the aqua soil leaching into the water. It can give you trouble with nitrates in the water. So if you just cap it off with some sand, and then again just damp it down with some water just to hold everything in place. So now that's done, you can start planting your plants into it. What I've done, I've grabbed some of the Rotala. This is the green one. The red one, for some strange reason, hasn't grown very well. I mean, you actually know why. It's because there's barely any light over the tank, and red plants really need a lot of light to grow. But I had to move the light. I'm going to have to get another one for this eventually, and put it over all of them. But for now, I'll show you with these. So what I did when I tested this idea out, I got a couple of the plants, put them together, and then just planted them into the substrate. Make sure they stayed upright. And that's the wrong one, is it? No, it's just a loose leaf. So just get bunches of these and plant them in as close together as you can. They tend to hold each other up when they're planted. The substrate holds them in place. And you just go around, like I say, get as many of them as you can in there. There's plenty of nutrients in the aqua soil. Hopefully they're not going to be in there too long. I mean, this is also a way of helping them to grow on. You can use these to plant whatever you like, and really any plants that you want to grow on. You can do this, put them in a tank and just leave them there. It helps with the water quality, because it'll take nutrients out of the water, a bit like an epiphyte. Not to the same extent, but it'll help with the water quality. It puts oxygen into the water for the fish as well. So it's a useful idea. So I mean, that's a start. I mean, I'm going to put some more in that eventually. So you put all your plants in there, and then you go on to the next stage, which I'll have to move around again, and I'll show you that in just a second. So I'll put some more plants in this, and then I'll get back to you. Okay. Right, so I've made a start on sorting the plants out, but it's boring as hell, so I've decided to put that on hold for a little while. I've emptied the tank, got all the substrate out of it. I've put that in a bucket so I can use it later on in a different tank. The only thing I need to do now is clean this up a little bit. I'm going to use a razor. I haven't got a proper scraper. I broke it. First day I bought it, I was trying to clean a tank and I broke it, so I'm just using this for now. Basically I'm just going to go round, scrape all the muck off the tank, clean it up, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, time for a bit of time lapse, I think. Yeah, so that's the front done. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of it. The camera's in the way a little bit just to make my life a little bit easier. So I'll go off camera and do that, and then I'll get back to you when that's finished. Be back in a minute. Okay, so there's the tank all nice and clean. The only thing left to do now is put the plants in and then fill her up. Like I say, I've done 2 little pots. I think that'll be enough for what I need. I'll probably do some more a little bit later on. We'll see how we go with these. Just put one in each corner. Like I say, when I've filled it up, I'll be putting some rocks in there. There'll be a filter going in, which actually needs to go in this corner, so I'll have to move that one over a bit. I've got a sponge filter that I've got to put in here. That's in another tank. It's one that I've been kept going for a long time, so it should be nice and mature. I'm undecided whether to put a few little fish in here just to help mature the tank. I'll have to see about that. I'll consider it and get back to you on that. But now the next thing really is just to fill it up with water. So that'll be my next job. Like I say, that's a boring job because it's got to come in jugs. So I'll come back when that's done and show you how it looks. See you in a minute. So that's how the tank looks at the moment. I know it's not much to look at. All condensed up because there's nothing but cold water in there. I've put the heater in, switched that on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it until tomorrow now before I put the filter in, and make a decision then on whether I'm going to put any fish in there just to help the filter. So yeah, we'll decide then. So I'll come back in the morning, have a look, make a decision, and I'll let you know what I've decided. I'll see you in the morning. Bye bye. Right, well, it's been a couple of days. Got the heater in the tank, got the filter in the tank, sponge filter that I've been seeding in in the big tank behind me, which needs topping up actually. I'm going to have to top that up later. Like I say, I've decided that I am going to put some fish in there. I've got a jug in there at the moment with some guppies and a black molly in there, just babies. I'll throw some red root floaters in there. If you want the scientific name, it's Philanthus fluitans, I think. But yeah, I've got some Anubis nana petite stuck on some rocks in here as well. Once the fish have started to get the tank dirty, I'll probably put them in as well, try and soak up some of the nitrates that are going to be drifting around in the water. Make the fish feel a little bit more comfortable. Like I say, I'm going to put some stones in there to start off with, just so they've got somewhere to hide. Like I say, if they feel safe, they'll be a healthier fish, they'll be less stressed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to acclimatise these fish in this jug, and then I'll probably just show you them being released, bit of background music, and that'll probably be it for this video. Like I say, it's going to be a couple of weeks before I get any fish in there. I want the tank to mature a little bit, so it's just got fresh water in there. I've dechlorinated it obviously, but yeah, it's going to need a bit of time. I want to make sure that the filter stays seeded and doesn't go off, if you like, because if you leave them for too long, then the bacteria in there can die, goes stagnant, makes a mess. So it's been running in another tank. Now I've got a few fish in there. Well, I will have a few fish in there just to keep it going until I'm ready to go out and buy these other fish. So yeah, once I've acclimatised them, we'll show you them being released into the tank just as a bit of interest, and then I'll catch you on the next video. So if you enjoy what I've done, or if you enjoy what I'll show you, like and subscribe, it always helps, and I will see you next time. Take care, goodbye.